10 Misconceptions about the Illuminati. The Illuminati has been the subject of much speculation. Some say it is a mysterious group of immensely wealthy individuals who are secretly controlling the world. Others suggest they may in fact be lizards, as proposed by David Icke. While the Illuminati has been the focus of numerous theories, it is important to remember that it was a real society. A number of organizations have used the name throughout history, each claiming to be enlightened in their own right. However, these are far removed from the mythical image associated with the Illuminati today. Here are 10 misconceptions about the Illuminati that conspiracy theorists often get wrong. Number 10. The Illuminati is a secret underground organization. Inquire of the average conspiracy theorist, and they will tell you that the Illuminati are a clandestine group of people controlling world affairs. However, the original Illuminati, known as Alumbrados, were far from secretive and were actually very enthusiastic in propagating their alternative spiritual beliefs. This movement began in Spain in the 15th century, being influenced by Christian Gnosticism and Egyptian Hermeticism. Followers of this spiritual practice assumed that if they purified their souls, they would be able to communicate with the Holy Spirit. The idea was that when the soul reached a certain level of spiritual perfection, one was granted a glimpse of God, and no longer had to go through the motions of religious rituals. Moreover, those who had reached this enlightened state were allowed to sin without their souls being corrupted. This notion was extremely attractive, and so the movement quickly gained popularity. Number 9. The Illuminati are immensely powerful. The Illuminati are commonly perceived as omnipotent and oppressive. Nevertheless, early adherents of Alumbrados were frequently targeted for their religious beliefs. Their unconventional gospel quickly caught the eye of the Spanish Inquisition, leading to 3 edicts against them in 1568, 1574 and 1623. Consequently, followers were always in danger of physical aggression. A group of Alumbrados was viciously whipped and incarcerated in 1529 because of their dissident beliefs. In 17th-century Seville, the priest and Alumbrado Fernando Mendez was a notable adversary of the Spanish Inquisition. It was said that Mendez would perform exuberant sermons, as if he were already a saint in paradise. During his masses, he would frequently enter a trance and shout at his congregation. After the services, he was sometimes surrounded by women who would take their clothes off and dance around in a state of rapture caused by their love for God. On other occasions, the radical priest would demand that females lift their skirts and show him their bodies as atonement for their sins. Unfortunately, Mendez died before the Spanish Inquisition was able to apprehend him. However, not every Alumbrado was fortunate enough to elude the grasp of the Vatican. Number 8. Illuminati members are all vastly wealthy and part of the global elite. Despite what many may think, not all members of the Illuminati were wealthy and influential. Maria de Santo Domingo, a young woman of humble origins from south of Salamanca, was an early follower. At the age of a teenager, she joined the Dominican order and soon gained a reputation as a spiritual figure who could communicate with Jesus and Mary. Her devotees included King Ferdinand II, who welcomed her to his palace, earning her the title of La Beata de Piedrahita, the Holy Woman of Piedrahita. Maria claimed to be able to communicate with Jesus, even going so far as to declare that she was Jesus and married to him. During religious gatherings, she would be known to enter a trance-like state for hours at a time, stretching out her limbs and claiming to be dissolving in the arms of Christ. This boldness brought her to the attention of the Spanish Inquisition, who suspected her of heresy and covertly worshipping the devil. They held a series of hearings with no result, due to her connections with royalty. Maria was declared innocent in 1510 and passed away a year later. Number 7. The Illuminati are based across the world. Conspiracy theorists often allege that the Illuminati is a worldwide malicious organization which has infiltrated all aspects of society, from the realm of entertainment to the US dollar bill. In truth, the Illuminati existed only in particular regions of Western and Central Europe. The most well-known group was established in the late 18th century in Bavaria, Germany, with Professor Adam Weishaupt forming a clandestine organization at the University of Ingolstadt on May Day 1776, which he named the Perfectibilists. Weishaupt and his peers were no longer content with the strict control that religion had over their lives. In its place, they desired to form a society based on reason and logic. This notion can be attributed to the Enlightenment, a period of time in which people began to shift away from the instructions of the Church and towards rational thought. It was during this era in Europe that the concept of separation between church and state became a common belief. It was this philosophy that was particularly popular among the Bavarian Illuminati. The name itself, Illuminati, is the plural of Illuminatus, the Latin word for enlightened, indicating that members of the group believed they were particularly enlightened. The beliefs of the Bavarian Illuminati were the exact opposite of those of the Spanish Illuminati, yet both were distinguished by the same name, a sign of their belief in their own enlightenment. Number 6. The Illuminati is full of politicians and aliens. If you type the name of a famous person and the term Illuminati into a search engine, you are likely to be met with a range of conspiracy theories suggesting they are part of some kind of secret organization. In reality, there is no evidence of any famous people being connected to the Illuminati. However, there were a few notable figures who were members of the group. Adolf Freiherr Nigg was one such individual and rose to a high rank. He is most famous for his publication Über den Umgang mit Menschen, a book which provides advice on how to interact with others in a socially acceptable way. His name is still associated with politeness. Other famous members of the Illuminati include Friedrich Jacobi, Friedrich Leopold and Johann Bode, the astronomer who gave the planet Uranus its name. The idea of celebrities belonging to the Illuminati probably started out as a joke in Playboy magazine. During the 1960s, Robert Anton Wilson and Carrie Thornley, two editors at the publication, decided to have some fun by submitting fake letters to the magazine. These letters described the Illuminati as a secret organization that supposedly controlled the world. They even went so far as to add more fake letters refuting their own initial claims. All of this was just a prank initiated by the two editors. In a humorous attempt to create an elaborate conspiracy theory, Robert Shea and Wilson wrote a book titled The Illuminatus Trilogy. They claimed that the Illuminati was made up of famous people, as well as aliens from Mars. They even suggested that the group was behind John F. Kennedy's assassination. The pyramid on the dollar bill was presented as proof of their existence. However, the joke was lost on some readers, who started to take the hoax seriously, leading to one of the most popular conspiracy theories in the world. Number 5. The Illuminati contains a vast network of members. The Illuminati was never a large organization. When it was founded in 1776, it was mainly made up of Weishaupt and his pupils. Over time, the society expanded to incorporate members from other German cities. At its peak, the society included men from as far away as France, Denmark, Italy, and Poland. Yet, even then, it had a maximum of 2,000 members. Nigg aided in the enlargement of the group into several Masonic lodges. In contrast to the Spanish Alumbrados, the Bavarian Illuminati were mainly affluent people with a good education. Each member had an alias so that they could correspond with each other in secret. These monikers were usually related to ancient Greece and Rome. For instance, Weishaupt was known as Spartacus, whereas Nigg was addressed as Philo. Nigg also aided in setting up the organization's communication lines. Number 4. The Illuminati masterminded the French Revolution. In 1789, a major uprising occurred in France, resulting in bloodshed. Peasants, fed up with the exploitation of the upper classes, revolted and stormed the Bastille, thus compelling King Louis XVI to yield authority and put an end to feudalism. The French Revolution caused a great stir among the political figures of Europe, with the British aristocracy being particularly perturbed by the potential of a similar workers' revolt in their own country. British nobility spread stories that someone else was controlling the events, and found a convenient scapegoat in the dying German sect known as the Illuminati. Despite being portrayed as violent by British politicians, the Illuminati, which was largely defunct at this point, had never called for aggression. They believed that by educating people, they could shape society gradually. Number 3. The Illuminati are part of a wider Jewish conspiracy. There has been an alarming trend of people utilizing conspiracy theories to condone and promote anti-Semitism. Although many conspiracy theories are just harmless fun, some of the more extreme beliefs about the Illuminati contain an odious undertone of Jew hatred. The Illuminati had no association with Judaism whatsoever. In its original incarnation, the organization consisted of unorthodox Christians who held more liberal views on the soul. Later, the Illuminati began to oppose the authority of organized religion. Adam Weishaupt had been a Jesuit, but he had no relationship with the Jewish faith. The association between the Jews and the Illuminati originated at the dawn of the 20th century. Around this time, a spurious document was disseminated called the Protocols of the Elders of Zion. It proposed that, in 1897, Jewish leaders had gotten together with Freemasons and set in motion plans to destroy Christian civilization. The furtherance of liberalism and socialism, it was claimed, were the initial steps towards a Jewish New World Order. The protocols, which were initially released in Russian, were soon translated into German, French, English, and other languages, and unfortunately, they were accepted as fact by many people worldwide. Henry Ford aided the spread of the document in the U.S. through the Dearborn Independent. However, in 1921, Philip Graves, an Irish journalist, began to question the authenticity of the protocols, noting that they seemed to be reminiscent of a French satirical piece from the 1860s. Ultimately, it was revealed that the protocols were a fraud created by Russian officials, yet the anti-Semitic propaganda still remains and is still believed by some. Number 2. The Illuminati are communists. After the conclusion of the Second World War, the connection between the Illuminati and Marxism began to take shape in the U.S. Senator Joseph McCarthy was conducting a sweep of government employees whom he had accused of being communists or homosexuals. This was known as the Red and Lavender Scares. But the actual Illuminati were nothing like the fictitious, card-carrying communists thought up by the senator. Most of them were affluent members of the upper class who directly profited from the existence of capitalism. Unlike Marx and Engels, they didn't support drastic action or the overthrow of the class system. Weishaupt and his associates aimed for the establishment of secular governments, and felt that this would be achieved gradually, with the aid of education and reform rather than revolution. Number 1. The Illuminati still exists. Conspiracy theorists may think the Illuminati are still controlling global events in a bid to create a new world order, but this isn't accurate. The Illuminati ceased to exist in the mid-1780s after the Bavarian government passed a law in 1785 prohibiting secret societies. By that time, the organization was already starting to break down. The relationship between Nig and Weishaupt had deteriorated badly, and finally Nig had quit the organization. One past member had sent a damning letter to the Grand Princess of Bavaria, including both true and false information about the organization. The law enacted by Bavarian officials was the final blow to the Illuminati. Several people were jailed because of their involvement with the order, while others had to escape their homes. Weishaupt lost his job at the university and was banished from Bavaria. He ended up teaching philosophy at the University of Göttingen for the rest of his life. Thanks for watching.